You're watching Bulldog of the Week, presented by Cedarburg Athletics, with host Matt Menzel.
Welcome to this week's edition of Bulldog of the Week. Our Bulldog of the Week is the football head coach, Brian Leair, kind enough to join us. And coach, as we tape this, the football team coming off quality back-to-back wins, knocking off previously undefeated Slinger, knocking off Nicolay. Your thoughts on those two wins? What have been keys in those victories?
Really, the kids' resilience coming off our beginning of our season. We had 3 losses in a row in really close games. Really young team, and we had some injuries and a couple guys out, and so the kids really willing to stay with it and work hard in practice, and then just step up. Big time. We played Slinger, who was undefeated at the team, one of the conference front runners for the conference championship, and just going over there. Our defense played great. We were able to run the ball, and then timely passing, and receivers really stepping up as well. So just really a big team effort. Going on the road and getting that victory over there was huge. And then last week had a huge crowd here, and the kids fed off of that. Played a tough Nicolay team, and again our defense has really been stepping up, and our offense has really finished when we needed them to. So really an all-around effort. But really, defense has been great, and our offense has had a good, solid running game, and we utilized the passing game when we need it. And so, just like I said, great all-around group.
So, regardless of wins and losses, being a young team, from a coaching standpoint, you're happy with the progress you're seeing week after week after week?
I am. It was disappointing to start out with a few of those losses. But like I said, we've dealt with injuries probably more than at any point in my coaching career. And to see the kids, first the kids that are out rally and stay with their teammates and still almost be coaches on the field and prepping for the week, and then just the kids stepping up and just the way they've stayed with it. At no point has there been a bad attitude or thinking that we can't be successful, and that's really been the most satisfying thing.
Now, big news came out this past summer, that in July, that you're going to be inducted into the WFCA Hall of Fame. That ceremony taking place on the 1st of April in Madison. What does that honor mean to you?
It's incredibly humbling. It is a great honor to have an organization like the State Football Coaches Association be recognized by them. It's one of the best in the country, and to be acknowledged by your peers is just a special honor. But at the same time, it's really humbling, and sometimes I won't say embarrassing, but just knowing that a sport like football, you have to have so many people on board, community-wise, school-wise, coaches. We've had a lot of coaches come through over the years, and then most of all the players. You don't get an award like that without having good players and dedicated kids, and so it's been a long time we've been at this, but it's just a huge group effort in a sport like football, and so I'm proud to represent the school and what our program has stood for over that time. So it's not a one-man honor at all, but very, very humbled to get that honor.
Let's talk about your legendary status. When and how did you get started as the Cedarburg football head coach?
Well, I got started back in 1996. There had been a changing of the guard, and they had a hard time finding a new football coach, to be honest with you. I think they had maybe 2 winning seasons in the 25 years prior to, and my focus really is I wanted to be a basketball coach. I've always been a football player, loved playing football. That really was my focus early on, and that just kind of came my way. And I took it on. I knew it would be a huge challenge, and I was lucky to have a really good group of kids right off the bat. We competed, made the playoffs the first year, won the conference championship, and I was hooked, and I knew I'd be staying with football. Yeah.
Is there a game or 2 or 3 or a season or 2 that stand out among the rest at this point?
Well, there's been several games that have. I remember our first really, really big win was back in 1996. We're trying to prove to people that we could be a competitive program. We beat Menominee Falls, who was ranked number 1 in the state at that time, on the road, and we still had the reputation of not having a good football team. That certainly was a big one. Probably the biggest game that I remember is when we went to state, 2010. Obviously, a pinnacle of experience as a coach, and our program is making it to Madison. We beat 2-time defending state champion Kimberly here at our place in overtime with a huge packed crowd, and that was really a signature moment for our program, and then going on to state. That run, we had to beat some really, really exceptional, historically strong football programs. But that's one for sure among many more. But as you go through a season, each year is, you have the tradition of the football program, but each year is the kids' new season. And so, our recent Slinger win, that felt the same as, one of those big wins for the kids and for the coaches as well.
How do you feel like in your time here that you have grown and or changed as a coach?
I think, over time, you're still as intense about wanting to be, successful and working with kids, but your personality changes a little bit as you go. I think I am a little bit more understanding and a little bit more, I don't know if laid back would be the word, but take a little bit more subtle approach to things. I see a lot of kids from back in the day are men now, and they're like, Coach, you're a lot easier on the kids now than you were way back when. I don't know if the kids now would agree with that, but I think really that's the biggest difference as you get older. You get a little more perspective on things.
Maybe wins and losses again aside, what are you most proud of in your time so far here at the high school?
Just being associated with great kids. So many of our kids have gone on to do exceptional things. I don't know that just the football experience is the reason why that's the case, but I know that it has contributed to a lot. When the Hall of Fame news came about, I can't tell you how many texts and emails and stuff that I got, and so that's really the big thing, the relationships you build with the kids and with the coaches that you've had. I look at the leadership in our school right now. Principal Bo, he played for me. AD, John Hanneman, he played for me and coached with me. So just the community and the community of players, coaches, the Cedarburg community at large, that's really what I'm most proud of.
To wrap it all up and refocusing back on this 2022 season, with the remaining weeks here in the regular season, what do you want to see out of your guys?
I want to see continued growth. We have a goal of competing for a conference championship every year, to making the playoffs. That's always been a source of pride for us to be competing in that. But I'd like to see what we've done in the last couple of weeks and really the whole season. We're getting better every single week, gelling as a team, and pushing for a conference championship and getting into the playoffs and getting into that second season and giving a chance to really make a special run out of it. But growth every week. Our motto has been, especially after that start that we had, is 1-0. So we're starting each week, new opponent, 1-0. That's what we're trying to be each week. So far we've been doing it the last 2 weeks.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for your time. All the best the rest of this season, and thank you for watching this week's edition of Bulldog of the Week.